Coming to you live from my house at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. It is Trio 30 Talk, and I am the host who has a privilege to say I have lived in a residence hall for 12 years of my life. That's almost 1/3 of my life. Almost. We're not quite there yet, but almost 1/3. And I have a pleasure to have some students actually, for the first time on Trio 30 Talks, take me up on the offer to come on the podcast. We have our RHA, our Residence Hall Association here at UNL. Welcome, RHA. Thank you all for coming. I'm looking really forward to hearing everything you have to share. But first, let's get through some introductions and let everyone know who is here today.
Hello, thank you so much for having us. I'm Aaliyah Christy Munoz. I'm the RHA president.
Hi, I'm Michael Hodge. I am currently serving as the RHA NCC, which stands for the National Communications Coordinator.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Niels, and I'm Chief of Operations.
Hi, I'm Carly Workman. I am the NRHH liaison.
And I am Nathan Franz. I serve as the McCurr Regional Director and ex officio member of our RHA chapter.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you all for coming on today. We're going to talk a little bit about RHA, but first I got to know, how's the summer going? How are you doing? Are you sad? Are you on campus? Are you at home, off campus? Like, what's going on in your world today?
Right now, I'm in Papillion, Nebraska. I've lived here for about 5 years, so I'm just having a nice time at home.
Yeah, right now I'm off campus at home in St. Paul, Minnesota. My summer's been going well. I've been working, about to buy a car tomorrow, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, just in general, having a good time.
And now, do you have a specific car in mind, or are you?
I'm buying a 2012 Kia Sorento.
Okay, all right.
It's kind of a mom car, but honestly, I love it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with mom cars. They're probably safe too. So.
Oh, it's my time now. I'm in Norfolk, outside of campus. I'm in Northeast Community College. That's where I'm residing for my internship, and I'm working in Economic Development Department of Pierce County, Coventry. So it's 20 minutes from Norfolk area.
Nice, thank you.
I am currently living with my parents for the summer, back in Blair, Nebraska, and working and all of the fun stuff.
Awesome. Well, great. So again, we're looking forward to upcoming fall. Pretty much here in Lincoln, COVID is over, I think, for the most part. It's still out there in the world today, but in Lincoln, Nebraska, we're back to full force with everything. And we're looking forward to all the events that you have coming up and all the things. So you all are students in the past year. I want to talk about a little bit before we get into like RHA. Tell me about, what did you miss last year as students, with it being COVID and everything, and something that you're really looking forward to this upcoming year as we're getting ready for the fall?
Go ahead, Aaliyah.
Thank you. Sorry, Nathan. We don't get to have this experience, unfortunately, but we did miss the new student enrollment, but that's okay. I'm just really glad because my brother's going to be experiencing that this fall. I think he's actually going next week, Friday, to experience that. So that would be pretty cool. But I'm excited to go to in-person classes like consistently. I think it'll be awesome.
That's great.
I think it almost goes without saying, but I absolutely missed our Husker football games. I cannot wait to get back to Memorial Stadium this fall.
For me, this past year, since I've been involved in RHA, I've kind of become a little RHA nerd. I love RHA. I've had so much fun experiences. So I'm really excited to have more in-person and larger programming events. I think that's going to be really kind of my highlight of this next coming school year.
Obviously, being a person and being social is something important. And if someone is not allowed to go to gather together with others, it's something that everyone can miss. And I miss it a lot. I miss having people around me just shouting, cheering out, having something to do like together. That's something I miss a lot. I used to attend like classes in person, and that's something I missed too, because going on Zoom, I hate the Zoom thing. Yeah.
That's fair. Hey, I always say, you all hated Zoom maybe, but come 4 weeks in, you come back to me and say, I might have missed some of those Zoom classes, or I could just lay in my bed and turn on my laptop. So we'll see in 4 or 5 weeks in the semester. So, but it is good to be back in person and everything. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I really miss like actually seeing people's faces behind the mask, like actually like human emotion. Really missed being able to see people's facial expressions. So yeah.
Awesome. That's great. So thank you all. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And Leah, if you want to go ahead and share, so you can share your kind of PowerPoint slides, and let's really get into what RHA has to offer, and I'll let you all take it away. Really think about, our students and our TRIO students are our first gen low income students with registered disabilities in our TRIO program. And really I want them to know like ways they can get involved in RHA, services that are provided to them, and letting them know how they can get involved in their hall councils especially. So go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty, we are the Residence Hall Association.
The Residence Hall Association serves as a government University of Nebraska-Lincoln Residence Hall, and it's recognized as a voice of students in an on-campus housing and by university housing residence life. Talking about LHA without mentioning its mission, I think can be a failure. That's why we're going to first dive into the mission of students' government of UNL residence halls. Some of the missions that student government of UNL residence hall has is enhancing and the living and the learning environment of the halls, to work jointly with the university administration to create and alter policies designed to establish and maintain such an environment. Such an important thing to the students, because they have to have a very supportive environment which cares for them, which makes them feel at home. Encouraging and coordinating the representation of the general membership throughout the campus. That's another mission of the RHA as a government UNL residence hall. Communicate to the general membership any information pertinent to them. Information is an important thing. If it's not communicated, so who's gonna do what? Nothing is gonna be done. We need to know what's going on. So RHA does it effectively so that the members know what's going on campus in the residence halls. Discuss, to act upon, and to communicate the opinion of association on matters of interest to the general membership, as well as to communicate with other students' organizations on campus. We have to maintain a relationship with other organizations because we do not act alone. We have to have them in the team, in the same train, going together to enhance the wellness of the students in their, not only in the residence halls, but in other areas. So we have to work with them to make the students' life better.
There are a number of ways to get involved in RHA, and one way you can do that is to join our executive board. We have 5 vacancies. We're looking for a vice president. They'll be running, we're looking for a vice president. And our committee chairs include the Advocacy and Residential Enhancement Committee, ARE, Diversity, Inclusion, and Service Committee, DIS, Recreation, Engagement, and Community, REC, and lastly, the Residential Success and Wellbeing Committee, RSW. We would love to have you a part of our executive board. We're a great and fun group, and we're very hardworking. We're very inviting. So please join our board.
Are there requirements for that? Or do they need to be required to be living on, or do they? Does it matter? Like, is there anything that they are required to have before they can apply for those?
Absolutely, thank you. We require that you live on campus for the school year that you will be serving, as well as have a 2.0 or higher GPA. Other than that, we really invite anyone who wants to put in the work, who is willing to put in the work, who wants to be a voice for residents, and who wants to express their voice. So you are more than welcome. And along with those committees, you don't necessarily have to be a committee chair, but if you live in the residence halls, you're welcome to sign up for those committees at any time. And the vice president, and our exec board, we all meet with the RHA Senate, and the RHA Senate is made up of a wonderful group of people. We have varying numbers of senators per residence hall based on population, but they will come together every Tuesday at 7 p.m. at WCDC, Red Cloud Suite, to discuss legislation and really represent their hall and their residents. If anyone is interested in that, you can apply when school year begins. The forms are due on April 31st, and elections take place on September 2nd. There will be electronic ballots, and we'd love to see your names on the ballots. Same thing with that. Please, you have to be living in the dorms, and just be open-minded and excited for the school year. Along with our RHA Senate, we have our local hall governments. Same thing, we'll be having candidacy forms due on August 31st. Elections take place on the 2nd. Really, the local hall governments are the home base for your dorms. They'll be the ones creating programs for your dorms, taking initiatives in the halls. Again, you just gotta be open-minded and be ready to create a really great environment. And lastly, attend our meetings. Anyone is welcome to attend our meetings. We would love to have people attend our meetings and learn more about what we do and what we're talking about. And our first RHA Senate meeting is on September 7th, so 5 days after the elections take place. They always take place at the WCDC Red Cloud Suite. But yeah, listen with open ears and participate in great conversations. And you can definitely check out where to look for these opportunities at our website at rha.edu/opportunities.
So what is it like being an RHA? I think in order to answer that question, I have to tell my personal story. I originally started out as a senator for my local hall. I ran in the election. And from there, I took pretty much any opportunity that was given to me. I ran for the Speaker of the Senate position, which is an executive board position that is elected from within the Senate. And then from there, it kind of took some interesting branches. Eventually, I served as the treasurer before taking on my current role as NCC. So I think with that story, I really want to highlight a couple of things. First, there are a tremendous amount of opportunities in RHA, from varying levels of commitment, from an hour or two a week to 10 hours a week, if you want to put that work in. So sometimes it can be hard work, but on the flip side, it is probably some of the most rewarding work I've really ever done in college. It's not only fun, it is a tremendous group of people, but to be able to actually put on programs and do things for your community, and you can actually see what you're doing in your own community. It's a wonderful experience. Last week, some members of RHA, actually every single person that is currently on the Zoom call with the exception of Brian, just went to a national conference that supports RHA. And I'm sure everybody in this meeting can attest to how much fun and how educational that meeting was. So what is it like being an RHA? It's can be hard work. It can be a little bit of commitment, but it is also very rewarding and extremely entertaining.
So one of the things that we offer for students every year is OCM care packages and linens. So OCM is a company that we work with, and they offer these great packages for like bedding, wall decor, pretty much anything that you can think of that you want for your dorm, at a pretty decent price for what you get. And it also acts as a fundraiser, and those funds that are raised are given to RHA and NRHH to help us like turn that money back around and give it back to the students in the dorms through events and initiatives and stuff like that. So if anybody out there listening is interested, you can go to ocm.com/UNL, and anything that you buy on that website, proceeds from that will go to us to help us throw cool events for you.
Now, do you have to personally deliver those carpets and stuff that they order? Because if not, then that does not, you know, I had to do that in RHA. So I hope you have to experience that pain of delivering 45 carpets to different rooms.
No, luckily they take care of it for us.
Oh, you don't even know how lucky you are.
I know, we really lucked out there.
A service that we have for all the residents is a free movie channel, basically Netflix, but just movies. And if you put in that website movies.unl.edu, you just have to hit SAML login, and you just have to put your Huskers email or NUID and your password, and then you have access to all of these really great movies. Every student is also welcome to request the movies that they want, and that can be found on our RHA website under movie suggestions.
Let me tell you something. That is a great program. I've had that before. The only thing they don't have is Disney movies, right? But that's okay. They have everything else. Like I'm telling you, there's so many movies on there, and there's new movies. So, you know, save your money at the Red Box, or save your money, go in there, just, you know, get your laptop. I'll get a projector. If you can rent one, hook it up and watch some movies with you and your friends when you get on campus. It is probably the best free service that I think you could have. You can even get rid of your Netflix. You wouldn't even need that anymore. So save some money, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of welcoming events, we have two for during the Big Red Welcome Week, as well as the first days of school. So during the Big Red Welcome Week, we'll be having our hypnotist on August 19th. We'll be having two showings, one at 9 p.m. and one at 10:30 p.m. in the WCDC Red Cloud Suite. See, everything comes full circle. We're always in the Red Cloud Suite. We'll have free food, free drinks, free prizes. We really would like participation from our audience. be on stage for those 2 showings. It'll be an awesome time. And then we also have our outdoor movie night event. That'll be taking place on August. I'll get that date to you. And that would be taking place around the 2nd or 3rd day of classes. But we have our 20-foot projector in the Cather Pound green space and a great speaker setup. Really, yes. We have free popcorn, free drinks, and free giveaways. And it's a great opportunity to socialize, to meet new people, to just have a really fun and relaxing time after moving in and experiencing some of those first days of classes.
Now,
Also,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
mhm.
Can I add something to the outdoor movie night? So
Yes,
the
yes,
outdoor
please.
movie night was the first event I ever attended for RHA when we hosted the event last school year. So much fun. I could not recommend it more. Like, I got my big blanket out, I ate a whole bunch of popcorn, and I met like 3 really close friends that I'm still like super much in contact with today. So very much fun. Highly recommend the outdoor movie night.
So do we have a movie picked out already, or is that going to be decided, or is that a secret?
That is to be determined.
To be determined.
Also,
Okay, all right, I like
To
it.
be determined. So it'll be a nice surprise for everybody.
All right, and then I'm new, so I've lived in Nebraska for over a year, and I worked at Nebraska for over a year, but I haven't really been on campus, and I worked from home mostly during the pandemic. So Red Cloud Suite, you said this a few times. How if I'm new or I'm a new student, where do I go? Where is that at? How do I get there?
Red Cloud Suite is in WCDC, which is the Willa Cather Dining Center, and that building is next to Knoll Honors Program dorms and all the suite dorms.
Mhm.
So when you go into the building from the Knoll side, you walk into the building to the left, you'll see our awesome RAJ office. And then to the right, you'll see a staircase. And when you walk past the staircase on the right, there'll be rows of about two sets of doors. And that first set of doors, that'll be the Red Cloud Suite.
Awesome.
But it's like A, B, and C, I think.
Mhm. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure because I want to make sure people know kind of where that would be at, since they might not know. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, found a date for everyone. The outdoor movie is on August 24th. And that'll begin around 7 p.m. Some absolute essentials to bring to UNL. You have to have your NU ID, your N card. That'll get you into your buildings, into all your buildings, and that's where you can purchase. Like, it kind of acts as like a little bit of a credit card when you go to the union to buy food, or you go to the bookstore to buy supplies. You absolutely need it. That's your ID. You gotta have it. Also, it really helps to kind of maybe put in a lanyard, or some people put it a phone case pocket, so that way they can just easily scan their phone to the dorm scanner to let them in. And you have to have your bedding. You can always find your bedding at OCM Care Packages. Your pillows, towels, everything for your shower, including slippers. Toiletries, clothes hangers, back, because you'll be having you'll have a closet as well as some drawers, a backpack, season appropriate clothing, because we know that the seasons are very prominent here, even though it kind of mixes up when it's not the correct season, but that's okay. And you want to make sure you have an umbrella, raincoat, surge protectors, your prescriptions. Make sure you have those. And we also have a Walgreens nearby if you need to have your prescription refilled there. Your current prescriptions, your information, including like your social security card, your insurance card, all that good stuff. And if you're living in the apartments or the suites, you'll need to bring toilet paper and or pots and pans and kitchen stuff. And
Nice. Yeah.
we're
The reason
having
we, oh, sorry. Yeah. The reason we want to ask this is for all you people out there, maybe watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast, these are just some things that some people may forget when they get here to campus and they have to spend money on it or whatever it may be. So here's some really good opportunities for you to figure out, get that packing list started now. So that way you can get ready for this upcoming fall.
absolutely 100% agree.
Want to throw it out there that you can also get your prescriptions refilled at the health center if you don't want to leave campus. Like if you don't have a car or anything and can't get to Walgreens, you can always get them refilled at the health center.
Oh, nice. That's a good, I did not know that. Thank you.
And a fun little fact, when you're bringing stuff to campus, do not forget the toilet paper if you are living in those apartment styles, because you're going to walk into the room and you're going to think there is toilet paper or trash bags there, and there's not going to be, and it's going to be super awkward. So don't forget the toilet paper, the trash bags, and the shower curtains. That's another fun one that doesn't show up. But when you're buying it, don't forget there's a liner and there's a curtain itself. I've had some people, they show up with just the curtain and the water gets everywhere and they're really confused. So buy the liner, buy the curtain, the toilet paper, and the trash bags. All your apartment essentials right there.
Yeah, there's no leaves around the apartment if you run out of toilet paper in it. So, yeah. Oh, good times. Well, that we might go a little longer today. I hope that's okay with you all. But I want to know some stories about you all living on campus and some good times. I think Michael shared his story about being in RHA and going to the event, the movie event, meeting some friends there. But what are some other like living on campus like? This is why I want to return to living on campus, and this is what it's all about. I see this at the slide kind of gets some tight knit community, so it made me think to ask that question. So,
Okay, I'm gonna go with the stories about like living on campus. It's something when you meet people like around campus, when you go to the dining halls, like you meet a lot of people, you can sit with people and talk to them. It's a good chance to connect. I mean, myself, I am very open to talking to people. Probably that's why it's a very good thing for me. And sometimes I go and knock to doors of some people and say, "Hi, how are you doing? We've been living on the same floor, but I don't know you. What's your name?" And then we end up being friends. That's how I get friends. Honestly, to be honest, that's how I do it. And that's a thing which is very good, like about living on campus. You cannot go to knock on someone's apartment if you're living outside of campus. You cannot do that. But in the residence halls, you can. And if they say no, go, I don't want to see you, but they cannot say that. I haven't seen any single person saying that. That's a very good thing for you. And when you live on campus, it's easy also to access all the things, amenities around campus. You can access the basketball playgrounds. You can access the, I forgot the other ones, but there are the volleyball playgrounds as well. There are also like at Select, you can access the beach volleyball playgrounds. You can also access, there are a lot of things you can access while you live on campus. And it's something that makes me feel, why can I go to live outside of campus? On campus is a very good place where I can stay comfortably.
I think for me, it's all about the programming because we have so much programming like all over our institution, but the residence hall programming, I gotta say, is like by far my favorite. My freshman year, back before COVID happened, we were still putting on so many wonderful mass in-person events. I think my favorite was, we called our late night breakfast that are on finals week each semester. We head up on stairs to the dining hall and hall government serving up pancakes and bacon. They let us use all their equipment. And it was such a great time. So many residents showed up. And oh my gosh, it's like a long tradition. We do a giant game of like zombie tag and like 1,000 people show up and it's like a mass game of tag. The programming that we do is so incredible, and the partnerships we do with so many different like on-campus programmings, whether it's like PD, the Women's Center, the Health Center, we do just so many really cool partnerships that also showcase what UNL has to offer. And it's just like again, those programming aspects are just like so cool to see in the residence halls.
Yeah, kind of going off of what Benjamin said, like about how you can just go knock on people's doors. Like that's how I met some of my best friends my freshman year. And like I'll be a senior this year and I'm still really close with these people. Like I I had cookies with me and I just went down my hall and I knocked on everybody's door. And like, I was living in the suites my freshman year, and a lot of people told me like, you might not make friends, but like our whole floor, we just had our doors open all day, every day. Like we would all just go to other people's rooms and hang out all the time. And that is by far like my favorite part about residence halls is the community. Like you're all in it together, really. And like, no matter what happens, you're always going to have people there that are going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing and are going to support you no matter what happens.
And when Carly says like you're in it together, she means it, because we'll have floor meetings where you have 60 people in one room just sitting on top of each other, all vibing and hearing what's going on in your building. And so like it truly is such a close-knit community.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing, right? That's a good thing. Awesome. Well, do you have anything else on this slide you'd like to go on? Or if not, I have some sponsors that I have to get to, if you don't mind.
I think we've got a little bit more on the next.
Oh, you got a little bit more? All right. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think when it comes to opportunities in the residence hall, I think the really important ones to highlight are actually what the studies have shown about living on campus. The people who live on campus are more likely to get involved in our programming and events and organizations, clubs, activities. They're more likely to utilize those campus resources that we talked about, whether it's like the health center or academic sources and tutoring sources and things of that nature. And like a really big and important one is students that are like on campus are much more likely to graduate and have a lot more academic success because they're using those like resources, those programs, they're making connections and having a great time. And so there's just so many opportunities that come from living on campus. And Brian, like you talked about earlier, that hall government one, that one's huge. I think that's where most of us got started, was in our hall governments. We made some really great friends. I know I'm still in touch with a lot of mine. And so it just opens up a lot of doors that you'll carry with you for the rest of your college experience.
I think you're muted.
Hey, Brian, I think you might be muted.
I think you're still muted, Brian.
There we go. All right. Sorry. I had to make sure our PowerPoint there. Perfect. All right. So can you all see my screen now? You all hear me okay? Did everyone leave? Everyone there?
No, we're still here. We can.
Okay. All right. All right. My bad. So when we're trying to go in between, I usually have a dual screen so I can have the PowerPoint up on one screen and my camera on the other. But when I'm at home, I only have the laptop. And so it's when you're trying to share and change things out, it becomes a little difficult. But anyway, so thank you all for sharing. For all those students out there who are watching, who are part of TRIO and want our student support services and want to check in and get those TRIO points that we value, and we're able to get some things at the end of the semester by checking into different programs and coming to the events, feel free to check in here. You can use your QR code on your phone or screenshot it. If you are listening on the podcast, those links will be in the description. Also on YouTube, those links will also be in the description, along with the links for our RHA folks as well, all the things to go check out their websites, all in our links and everything. So let me get to our sponsors first. A few days ago, we had our LGBTQA plus center come on campus yesterday and talk all about all the events that are coming up today. The center works collaboratively to provide intersectional education, resources, outreach, and advocacy to develop academic success, identities, community, and leadership opportunities. Overall, it's a really great organization to learn about, to become an ally, to feel supported on campus. They do lots of different events. They talked all about their drag show that comes up in October, which I'm really excited to go to. They're here. They're a sponsor with us. They've been on the podcast multiple times with us this past year. So please check them out. They are a great place. They're a great place to go visit. They're on the 3rd floor in the Union. But that's one of our sponsors for today. So thank you to our LGBTQA plus center for being a sponsor, along with RHA today being a sponsors coming on the podcast. It's free to be a sponsor, by the way. You just get free press here. So, well, thank you very much for everyone's patience. Yesterday, my computer just totally froze. And so I wanted to finish up the podcast and our video so that way students are able to be able to check us out here on Trio 30 Talks right after we got done talking about our sponsor page with our LGBTQA plus organization. My computer just totally froze and everything went away. Luckily, it's still recorded, and just want to finish up the end here. Again, I want to thank RHA for coming onto the podcast, talking to us about all the things that it is to live on campus, things to bring on campus, how to get involved, the different programs that they have coming up. So please check them out when you get on campus. I really, really recommend getting involved in your residence hall when you're moving in on campus. It's one of the greatest experiences, I think, that you can have, meeting new people, getting involved in programs. There's just so much going on when you get to college, and it's a great place that makes it feel like home. So that way you can make these lasting friendships for, forever. Some of my closest friends that I have now have lived in the residence halls when I was in the first year student moving in. So just kind of remember that and think about that as you're coming onto campus. And to get involved, get some leadership skills. It's a great time. It's not too overwhelming. It's just enough to get involved and kind of get your appetite for what it is to be a student here at UNL. So look at those. Again, here's all of our ways to follow us on Instagram, UNL Trio Scholars, Twitter at UNL Trio Scholars. And then there's a Facebook group as well. You can use the QR code to join that Facebook group to look at that. We also have a page on Facebook to look into as well. Subscribe to us on YouTube, UNL Trio Scholars. If you subscribe, that way you can come see when we post new videos. You'll get those alerts. Also look for us on the podcast, Trio 30 Talks, on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. Go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. Give us 5 stars if you're enjoying the content. We're looking forward to continue this content as we move forward in the next few weeks and into August, of having different resources come on the podcast, talk to you all, learn about their offices, learn about the programs coming up so you have a better knowledge of what's going on this upcoming fall. Again, thank you all for listening and bearing with me with the technological difficulties. I can't say that word very well. But anyways, thank you all very much, and go Big Red.